Hello students, in this video we will talk about ventricles in brain. What are these ventricles in brain? How many ventricles are there in brain? कहाँ located हैं और क्या role है in ventricles का? Where are they located and what is their role? Let us try to find the answers of these questions through this video. Brain has 4 cavities जो irregular shape की होती हैं, कोई definite shape in cavities की नहीं होती है and these cavities in brain are called ventricles. See these 4 ventricles in the diagram. They are 2 lateral ventricles, 1 third ventricle and 1 fourth ventricle. ये ventricles कहाँ located हैं brain में? Let us see their position in the brain. First, let us see lateral ventricles. Lateral ventricles cerebral hemisphere में present होते हैं. As you know, in forebrain there are 2 cerebral hemisphere which are connected with each other by corpus callosum. Diagram में note कीजिए lateral ventricles की position. ये lateral ventricles corpus callosum के नीचे located हैं. And also see the second diagram showing 1 right lateral ventricle and 1 left lateral ventricle. So there are 2 lateral ventricles in 2 cerebral hemisphere. One in each cerebral hemisphere there is 1 lateral ventricle. What these ventricles do? Ventricles का main function है cerebrospinal fluid produce करना और CSF produce करना. Ventricles की lining special cells की बनी होती है which are called as ependymal cells. See the diagram. Red color की lining को ध्यान से देखिए. It is choroid plexus formed by ependymal cells और यही choroid plexus produce करता है cerebrospinal fluid और CSF. Septum pellucidum in diagram, it is a thin membrane जो दोनों lateral ventricles को separate करती है. Both the lateral ventricles are separated by thin membrane called septum pellucidum. Also note one important point. Lateral ventricles has the capacity of 7 to 10 milliliter, means approximately 7 to 10 ml CSF lateral ventricles में accommodate हो सकता है. Further note कीजिए points 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the diagram. दोनों lateral ventricles number 1 and number 2 third ventricle number 3 से connected है by an opening and this opening is called as foramen of Monro. Number 4 in the diagram is the opening called foramen of Monro जो connect कर रहा है lateral ventricles को third ventricle से. Third ventricle की location पर आइए. It is situated below lateral ventricles. Basically third ventricle forebrain के diencephalon part में lateral ventricles के नीचे located होता है. थर्ड वेंट्रिकल का कनेक्टिंग पॉइंट देखिए विद द फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल. थर्ड वेंट्रिकल नंबर 3 इन द डायग्राम इज कम्युनिकेटिंग और कनेक्टिंग विद द फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल विच इज नंबर 6 इन द डायग्राम बाय अ कैनाल कॉल्ड सेरिब्रल एक्विडक्ट जिसको एक्विडक्ट ऑफ सिल्वियस भी कहा जाता है. नंबर 5 इज सेरिब्रल एक्विडक्ट जो थर्ड एंड फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल को कनेक्ट कर रही है. फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल इज डायमंड शेप्ड कैविटी जो थर्ड वेंट्रिकल के नीचे और सेरिबेलम एंड पॉन्स के बीच में लोकेटेड है. एज यू नो सेरिबेलम एंड पॉन्स हाइंड ब्रेन के पार्ट हैं, मीन्स फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल इज प्रेजेंट इन हाइंड ब्रेन. अब आगे चलते हैं. फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल किससे कनेक्टेड होता है और कैसे? दिस फोर्थ वेंट्रिकल कॉन्टिन्यूज बिलो with central canal of spinal cord. Spinal cord के साथ साथ fourth ventricle सब arachnoid spaces से भी connected है by openings foramen lusca and foramen meninges. See the location of these 2 foramen in the diagram. इसको समझने के लिए next slide पर आइए. Diagram 1 देखिए. Brain is protected by 3 layers called Meninges and these 3 layers from inside to outside are pia mater, arachnoid and dura mater. Arachnoid के नीचे की space सब arachnoid space होती है and this space is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. See the diagram number 2. Fourth ventricle से cerebrospinal fluid सब एरेक्नॉइड स्पेस में एंटर कर जाता है through these openings. So, cerebrospinal fluid is present all around the brain. Now, let us see the flow of cerebrospinal fluid through these ventricles. Lateral ventricle से start होता है, then it enters to third ventricle passing through foramen of Monro. From third ventricle, it enters to fourth ventricle passing through cerebral aqueduct, and from fourth ventricle, it enters to central canal of spinal cord and to subarachnoid spaces passing through the foramen of Lashka and foramen of Meninges. So, CSF enters subarachnoid spaces through these openings, and also it enters central canal of spinal cord. Now, let us see the role of cerebrospinal fluid. It provides protection to the brain. ये ब्रेन को डैमेज होने से बचाता है. It acts as a shock absorber and cushion the brain against the skull. Next, it provides nourishment to the brain, and also it helps in removal of waste from the brain. So, that's all for today. Thank you very much for staying with me. Subscribe the channel to get the information about my new video. Thank you so much.